Hello and welcome back to the Gadget Man 369 channel. Today we're going to make a 2-layer laminated sheet and a 6-layered laminated sheet. Also, we are going to make and assemble the nozzle tube assembly. That's what I call it. It's not by no means complete, but we're gonna just get far enough today just to make this video. And then it'll get a little bit more complicated the next video. But making this this engine nozzle bayonet mount rocket engine holder. You want to say it's a holder? Yeah, it holds the D engine in place. Makes it easy to remove too. You just give the rocket nozzle a twist and pull it out and drop the motor right out of there. Just easy as that. This is going to be probably the most complicated build, is this nozzle system, but it'll be well worth it. It's going to take a few videos to complete it. Yeah, this week I had some problems with my computer. The other computer I was using to edit these videos burnt out. There's no way to fix it or repair it or anything, so it just got trashed. And I had to sell some things to pick up a new computer, which I did yesterday. And I spent the whole day setting it up. Yeah, that was quite complicated. Well, it wasn't complicated, it's kind of tedious. Then I had to reload the programs back in. DaVinci Resolve 20, this computer will actually handle running the thing. So that's good news. And hopefully this thing will, you know, render a lot faster and everything else. Because it is a newer computer. It's Windows 11, HP, and it's kind of a little bit of a hot rod of a computer. Anyway, I hope it works great for this video editing software. Yeah, another problem I ended up having is when I went online to open up my YouTube account for this Gadget Man 369 channel, and it's like, oh, you got to re-log in, okay. And now it's asking you for all this information, which I misplaced. And it's like, oh no. And there was no way I could go in there and recover this channel. I thought I was going to have to redo it all over again. And eventually, I had written down all this information when I created this channel in my YouTube book. And it was right in the middle and not where you'd think it'd be. But yeah, real important. If you got a YouTube channel, boy, you better back up your username and passwords and any other information that you have. It'll get you back into it if you have to get another computer. You don't want to do that. I was rather worried about that. But anyway, everything turned out okay. I like flipped through that little book 3 times. On the 3rd try, it was like, oh good, there it is. It was right in the middle of the book. I knew I'd written it down somewhere, but I forgot exactly where. But other than that, the laptop loaded up, you know, when I bought it, and then did that initial setup and all that stuff. I did it for a local account only, so you don't have to sign into Microsoft or any of these other companies. You can if you want to go through all that, but I'd rather just keep it, you know, more private. And for the most part, I run that thing offline until I'm ready to upload my video. Anyway, enough of this gibberish. Let's get on with the build. Alrighty then, here's what we're going to do. We are going to, okay, we'll just take this. Let's go ahead and make the lamination for this little piece here. Okay, so the sheet for this needs to be about 8 inches long and at least maybe 1.5 inches wide. Okay, so we'll just take our ruler, basic ruler. I really need to get a new one. I'm going to just go ahead and make it 1.5. I don't need to explain the exact techniques what I'm doing here. We've already explained that. And I'm just gonna try and keep all this stuff camera view. Do our little trick here. On this paper, you make a pencil line and it folds almost automatically right on it. Okay, there we are. Okay. All right. Now, let's see if I have enough. I need 1 1/4 across there. Do I have it? Yeah, easily. Okay, 1 1/4. Well, I might need some extra paper. So I'm going to do the old, you know, accordion fold. Need 6 folds, or 6 layers. Okay, nothing absolutely perfect. Let's see, get this thing, tweak it a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that because that piece is going to be inside of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I got 5 layers. Okay, let's get a scrap piece. There's a piece that's kind of messed up. And we're gonna laminate that. Oops, I need the gluer. Where's a gluer? I'll just make a gluer out of this. Okay, can do a much better job. I always forget something when I'm setting this up for making videos. That don't have to be all that pretty. Like that, like that. I'm gonna just tear this like that. Tear it like that. Okay, that's good enough for me. Okay, now make sure you get enough glue on there, and we'll just spread it around. Like I said before, spread slow, and then it won't like stutter, if that's what you want to call it. This does a better job. Wipe that off, fold it over. There we go. Do this one. Okay. Like that. Almost don't have enough glue on that. Oh, but I got enough. Okay. Fold that over. Push it down a little bit. Turn it over. Okay, we're getting there. Don't know if you can hear that fan in the background going, but it's starting to get warm in here. Whoops, I'm going again too fast. You just saw what happened when you try and do this too fast. It just doesn't spread very good. Okay, that's perfectly even. So you could just laminate from one of the scraps left over from the previous build or previous steps. That's why it's a good idea to keep your scraps. Don't throw them away if they're still usable for something else like this. Remember, this is a poor man's rocket. Some rich guy that can just like make a part and then throw the whole package of paper away and then just get out a new package of paper just for one part and waste everything because they don't care. Someday maybe there'll be no paper like this ever available. Okay, there's 5 layers. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do that right there. Okay, so like this, like that, like that. What is this? Okay, kind of slow. If you go like this slow, and then when you go fast, when you get it prepped for the next swipe, that's what saves you the time. What wastes your time is trying to spread the glue quickly. And then you got to do all this rework, and you know how I feel about rework. There we are. Not R or GAR or whatever it was. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna tear that out of here. This scrap wasn't quite long enough to get 6 folds, so you just saw what I did. Another handy dandy trick. Now we got our 6-layer piece there. Okay, now, oh, what do we got here? Okay, let's see. Gonna make this laminated sheet for this nozzle centering ring, this one. So if it's that is the radius, 1.010 radius, then let's just say we need a piece at least 2 1/4, 2 1/2 would be nice. Let's see if I can get 2 1/2 out of this. I think it looks like that's going to be easy. Okay, 2 1/2. You could just eyeball this. Okay, just like that. There's 2, there's 3. Okay, whatever that comes out to. It's got to be, whatever it is, it's got to be bigger than that ring. Okay, get this wiper paper. Okay, do the same thing here. Gonna make a 2-layered laminated sheet. See, this glue actually makes the part a lot stronger than just plain paper. Okay, go like this, go nice and slow so you can go faster. Doesn't that figure? Go slow and save time. You can get it done quicker. Go this way. Spread it. Boy, look at that. I don't know if you could tell, but that spread is like as perfect as you're gonna get it. Get off the edge a little bit. Gonna just make that part right here in the middle where all that glue's at. Fold her over. Burnish it down a little bit. Just like that. Okay, I'm just gonna tear that. There we go. All right. I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and cut a little bit off of here. And a little bit off of there, because that's where the weakest points are on this thing. How about just a little bit right here? Now I know I got this piece here is well more than 2 1/4. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of this. There we go, just sweep it off the table. Okay, now what we need, got all this stuff in the way, are those blocks. Okay, you remember these, I just keep them in here. And the more you keep them in there under pressure, the better and flatter they'll end up being. Okay. I need another one of these. I wonder if I could just put something different on top of this. Like that. Oh, I'm sure I can find something. Here, how about this? That's pretty heavy. It's kind of a light I'm not using. And now we just set this puppy aside. And just let that sit for a couple of days while it dries. And by next week, when we lay that out and cut those out, it'll be nice and dry, nice and flat. Now, here's the next piece. And again, it's a scrap. We're gonna make the nozzle engine tube. And there's the sheet dimensions. Okay, 4 inches. Okay, this, you wanna make pretty doggone accurate as possible. Okay, whoops, boy. Slippery pencil. Sharpen that pencil. There we go. Okay, there's 4 inches. Right there. And right there. Come up here. Line that up. And like usual, see there's a thickness to the lines on this protractor, this ruler? And what I'm doing, I'm getting the edge of that paper going right down the center of that line. That's how you get an accurate measurement. Pretty sure you know what I'm doing here. Put the pencil right on top of the line there. Put this up against there. Move the protractor. Okay. Okay. Check and make sure this one is the same. Okay, so now, like that. Put this right there where it was. Go up here, and I'm going to lay that ruler perfectly along this line here, and just take it farther than I need. Okay. Now we need our calipers for this one. I need 6.812. Boy, 6.812. Okay, carefully turn it. I'm gonna look at that. Okay, it didn't move, you could see that. Okay, now I'm double checking it. 6.812. Okay, we're good to go on that. Okay. Yeah, is that all you got? Okay, this is the best side over here on that scrap paper. So, I gotta butt that right up there. Okay, come on. Let go, let go. You know what? I'm going to use this side. Then I can do our little trick. Okay, pushing down over here. Now hold that down. Got to get that point right down there. Make sure that's square. Double check that here. And over here, push down. Yay! Okay. We don't need those anymore. We don't need it no more. We don't need it no more. We don't need it no more, more. Okay, let's see. That way I could see it. Put the pencil in there. Notice this edge right here, straight up and down here. This is the one that's kicking out. But this edge, you want to pretty much make that straight up and down. Okay. See what that looks like. Okay, I'm just making some final adjustments. Okay, the lead is right up against the edge of that ruler, and the point is right on top of those marks. Look at that. Look at that perfection. Boy, you can't get any better than that. Okay, now gonna take our handy dandy X-Acto knife. Where the hell does that keep coming from? Okay. Right down the center of that pencil line. Again, the pencil line. Yes, I'm holding my breath. The pencil line has a width. And you must cut it to be accurate on those dimensions. You gotta go down the center of that line. Down the center of the width of the line. Okay, the battery went dead. Okay, you never guess what happened. Yeah, that damn battery. Boy, I charged it up before I started and it went dead. What a piece of junk. There must be maybe I can get a better camera one of these days. Has a big battery that'll last more than a half an hour. It's a joke. I need something that'll run over an hour. Anyway, we got this part cut off. Okay, just toss this aside. Here we go with this. Okay, now we take our PVC pipe. Let's see. It's a PVC pipe. I don't know if you can see that on here, what it is exactly. Okay. It's the one that's white and it has kind of a thick wall to it there. That probably went out of focus. I don't have a lot of room here. Let's measure it. All these parts that I'm making for this rocket, as far as this motor tube, is based off of this tube right here. Okay, let me tighten that up. Okay, you might want to take your calipers to the hardware store and double check the outside diameter. Okay, so we got 1.055. 1.055, okay? That's the outside diameter. Outside diameter of that PVC pipe. Just to let you know, if you just pick up a piece and dimensions are wrong, and when you make these parts, they're not going to be the right size, okay? Now, got to take your tube here. Okay, let me see. Okay, this is going to be pretty easy. All right, let's get rid of all this stuff that's in the way. Yeah, I need a bigger table. Okay, let's see. Let's do this. Okay, you already know this kind of routine. This will give you a double layered tube, and this will bring this right to the edge or slightly past it. Okay, see, it's misaligned. This will be the tricky part. Undo this. Give it a tweak a little bit. Try it again. Nope. Went too far. Okay, come on. Might take a bunch of tries. Nope. Over here you could see that's off. You gotta make it straight. Sometimes you get lucky on the first one. It's just a little tweak. Nope. Come on. Okay. That's closer. Okay. Look at that. That's pretty darn close. Could take a little sandpaper. Well, look at that right there. I still don't like that. Ever so slight tweak. How's that? Oh, there we go. Check this out, huh? Perfection. Okay, now I'm going to give this a little bit of a roll on here. Okay. Just like that. I'm holding down on it so it won't move or undo. I'm just going to put a little bead. Let's see. Put like that on the edge right there. Okay. Put this underneath here so I won't get glue on it. Now when I'm rolling this down, holding down tight, it's going to automatically spread that glue. Okay, and it'll push it right out to the edge. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now you didn't want to make that so tight where you can't get it off. Okay, it's snug. But it's not so tight where, uh-oh, I can't get it off. That's why you don't want to laminate this piece, because all that, it'll dry, and then this whole piece will shrink, and then you'll never get it off of there. Okay, gotta put this back on. Okay, I can use the bottom of that to burnish that down like that. Okay, a little bit of that. Yeah, don't come in this way because that edge will catch that and booger it up. So it's just like, that's in a sense what I'm doing, only much lower. There we are. Okay, so remove that part from the tube. Okay, now here's a trick you can do. You see that? There's no glue there. You can go do that. Pop that off of there. I'm gonna spread a little glue right there. You don't need a whole heck of a lot. And then get it down. Yeah, you saw that, didn't you? Gotta make sure you don't accidentally go like that and then there's a gap in there and then you just ruin the piece. Okay. So I'm kind of pushing back on that edge to make sure that's tight in there. Okay. Repeat that on this side. Okay, like that, just a little bit of glue. Same thing there. I'm going like this in there. If you could see. What that does is there's this layer of paper here. And if you go push it that way, see that gap right there? You push it that way, gently. That'll make sure that you're not losing your inside diameter there. Okay, and just double check it before that dries and make sure there's no gaps. Okay, now we could seal this tube. You just put a little bit around the top. Okay, doesn't take much. Go in a circle. I'm pressing down a little bit. That presses the glue, a little glue down inside in between the paper layers. Repeat this side. Just on the top, then lightly go around until the glue, you think the glue has gone down in the paper. And then go like this. See what I'm doing? I'm doing this to get the glue off of my fingers. Then I'm pulling out as I'm pinching and rotating to remove excess glue. Okay. Now you see that thing is out around. No problem. And let that thing sit for a minute. Clean into that off. There we go. And pretty much that's our build for today. See. I'll just get these parts out. This is what we got so far. 6-layer laminate, 2-layer laminate, and you got this nozzle motor tube made so far. Okay, let me put that back on the block. Put the block back on. Put this back on there. You could tell it's warping. That's because it's still wet. Now the trick with that's out around. And as long as there's glue on there, it's gonna want to go out around. Now I think that glue is dry enough where you don't want to put that on there when the glue is still wet. Rotate it a little bit to loosen it up. And you could just store it like that until we need it next week. You know, you could burnish that down. Where's my burnisher? Heck, I don't know. I'll use that. This will help forcing it to stay around. Yeah, don't get that wet because when it shrinks, when it dries, it will shrink and then you'll never get it off of there. Well, if that happens, it's easy enough to make another one, but why do you want to go through all that trouble? I'm just going to do this a little bit before I take it off. Next week, I'll just do that a little bit. Make sure the glue is not going to stick to that pipe, and we are good. I'm going to just leave that on there until we need it. And when you pull this off next time, this will pretty much maintain its roundness. And there we go. The D-engine motor tube, if that's what it is that I called it. All right. It's trying to get away. Put something there. All right. All right then. There is today's build. Kind of easy, unless the battery goes dead and all kinds of bad things happen. Anyway, next week we're going to make the D-engine adapter shim, the D-engine adapter, the D-engine tube adapter ring. That would be ring A and B. There'll be two of them. And then we're going to assemble the whole thing so we can make a good start on that motor tube nozzle assembly, whatever you want to call it. Oh boy, okay. It's getting hot in here. Time to get out of here. So, if you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next episode. And this is the Gadget Man 369 over and out.